Welcome back to Super Metroid. Last time we took out Gold Torso, got the screw attack, and with that have collected the last major item in the game. We're in Ridley's Lair, Lower Norfair, filled with acid and pain and a lot of things that want to murder us. This is the climax of the game, and nothing here is being kind anymore. So with the screw attack now, this next room is shockingly easy, because the screw attack can destroy these blocks. Though even with that, at the very end, you may tip your toes into that acid. This is another room that, as a child, I had an immense amount of hard time with, because I had so much trouble with the screw attack. Getting up that area down there was rough. I also remember trying to get up here without the space jump in randomizer runs by wall jumping off the side. And I think I deemed it possible, but unbelievably difficult. Especially since you've got to deal with these gold troopers. Which, like, if you want to waste 3 super missiles on them, sure. But they're designed to just be screw attacked. And the top up here is fake? Oh, don't go in there. It may not have immediately stood out, but recall there was this path just over to our left, and we had no real other way to get here. So I'm sure while you're exploring around, you may have either X-ray scoped or just shot the ceiling. Okay, so when you come in here, hold right again. Okay, you don't have to. I prefer holding right. Because I know this is where these crumble blocks were, and I want to be able to proceed down at my own pace. So you come here and you know there's crumble blocks. And looking around, you can stand on the leftmost block and the rightmost block. But this one has the Mickey Mouse room in it. And a missile. How many missiles do we have? I have no idea. Now be very careful getting back out, because you don't want to have to go through that again. Alright, let's just pretend I didn't do that. So this next room is an interesting one. Because as soon as you come in, you hear the rumbles of acid rising, and boy is it. As long as you can space jump, it's really not hard to make it through these, but they actually leave this string of platforms here, so you don't have to space jump and screw attack too much. But you can just completely ignore this progression of the room and run all the way to the top if you want. Or space jump all the way to the top. Oh, by the way, the acid will eventually rise, I believe, this high, but no higher. Close. This high, but no higher. Okay, so first thing you're gonna do is shoot across, destroy those, open the door, and then go, that was weird. There's a path down. And down is, in fact, where we're going if we want to get over there to where I'm sure Ridley is. But first, let's go over here. So we got this guy. You can do that to get over him if you don't want to destroy him, but I would suggest a super missile, because it's going to be real hard to get over him otherwise. Did the camera pan before I went over there? I don't think it did. Yeah, camera doesn't pan immediately. So, ooh, X-ray scope doesn't show this either. So this one may end up just being, you've got to poke around. This is also kind of suspicious, let's be honest. Just come out to a big mouth with that guy over there facing at you, like that draws your attention. Even though it's got nothing to do with anything. That eye also looks like it would be something, but it's not. But okay. Oh, also notice how the lights are fading in and out. Remember the last time we saw what did that? Oh yeah, touching them kills them as well. Energy tank. Ooh. Now, what could we possibly get that would prevent us from just leaving? Just going up this way and leaving right now. And the answer is nothing. If we wanted to, we could just take that upward path and leave. And if you don't notice this, you may even, and then you're stuck with a full loop going, how do I get down there? And there we are. So these red key hunters are some of the most powerful enemies in the game, and they're commonly referred to as Ridley's watchdogs. If you don't have plasma equipped, I don't think you can even hurt them. No, I think ice does like half damage to them or something. Yeah. So ice does half damage to him because ice does... I'm surprised it does that because ice actually does... Oh, you can hurt him with that too. Okay. Just does reduce damage, I guess. But they're some of the most powerful enemies in the game. Not only do they have a lot of health, they're hard to kill because they're friggin' key hunters. Save point in here. They also have some of the highest health in the game. These things have 1,800 health, which, as I mentioned before, is just 200 less than the damage that it takes to... or less damage than the screw attack does. And they also hold the... status... what's the word? I don't know. Of being the only enemy in the game that is designated weak to the screw attack. So they are guaranteed to take double damage to the screw attack. I guess because their health was so close to the screw attack's damage, they just wanted to make sure that you could screw attack it. Okay, so funky room here. That's destructible. Spring ball helps a lot, otherwise it's kind of a pain to get in here. Screw attack helps considerably against these. And this block looks a little funky. I believe that is our, or would be our final power-up almost. There is... No, there's a couple coming. There's a couple coming. In speedrunnings, that is commonly referred to as the Coward's Power Bomb. Because you only get it if you're very much not confident in your ability to move forward. So we had Ridley's watchdogs. These guys are Ridley's security guards. But they even, like, the specialized forces, they even take on a fighting stance when they see you. They just block your attacks. It's not even a matter of plasma. They just bounce off of them. As a kid, I was terrified to fight these things. The way they spin around like that, then they do that. When they turn gold, they kick you if you get too close to them. When they turn gold like that, that's the only time that they are vulnerable to attack. So I would just spin attack up here. I'd screw attack up here because, like, I know I'm safe. Please do the thing so I can come down and shoot you with something. Yay, I did it. I shot him. And it would take me forever. Oftentimes, they wouldn't even turn gold at all because they only turn gold when they do this attack and then the couple steps after it when they're landing. And as long as you're not standing a specific distance away from them, they will just never do it. So if you want to kill them, though, you can bully them a little. Over here, friend. I forget what exact distance I have to get them into to get them to do it. Come on, buddy. Let's just restart the room. Just jump over you, because I don't think you do it from room entrance. He should jump over you, and there you go. Hello, friend. He should jump over me. Now he should do it. And there we go. Officially bullied. You may recall a room very similar to this one. You may also recall a room very similar to this one. Oh, heck. If you've played the NES Metroid, which we did here on the channel not long ago, these are like identical almost to the rooms just leading up to Ridley. And it's such a small thing that it doesn't even matter. Like playing through Super Metroid, when you're expecting like a tip of the hat or a reference to the NES Metroid, what are you expecting? Something bigger, more overblown, more blatant, not just, this room layout is really familiar. So going into the next room is Ridley. And I'm going to speak quickly, I suppose, on how you fight him. Because all the other bosses we fought up until now, they all have like a weak point. You have to draw them out and hit them at a specific time in order to handle it. Ridley didn't like that. Ridley is just a drag-out brawl. It's difficult to avoid getting hit by him, but you can hit him anywhere, and he has a ton of HP. You're just beating the tar out of each other until one of you goes down. Speedrunners, and I have tried, I have practiced, and I am incapable of this. Aside from very small things, but Ridley's AI can be heavily abused. Which is why you'll see speedrunners manipulate Ridley. They'll be in the perfect place at the perfect time to get his AI to decide to do a certain thing, and they can just trounce him very quickly. There's only one thing that I remember from my hours of practice trying to figure out how to manipulate Ridley. And remember, your charge beam does 3 times the damage. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Okay, you're doing that. Let's go over here. Nope. No, can I get you to turn around? This is actually where I'd kind of like to turn off Moonfall, because you're using your charge beam so much. You can turn around in the air, though, so that's good. So the one thing you really want to do, I think his tail even hurts you. Oh man, why you gotta do it facing that way? Can't you, like, face this way? There we go. That's like the one thing that I remember from manipulating his AI. You want him to do that. Oh, did I kill him? Nope. Yeah, he flew off. Like, I am showcasing zero actual technique here. I'm mostly just... Okay, now I think he's dead. So, as far as Metroid canon is concerned, which of course I've mentioned before, that Metroid canon is what you will make of it. Take what you can in and decide your own canon. But as far as my own canon is concerned, because most games that aren't Metroid 1, 2, 3, or 4 are considered side stories, which effectively means if it conflicts with canon anywhere, don't think too hard about it. So, if I consider, then, the main 4 games to be the primary canon and what happened with those, I also don't necessarily consider the remakes of Metroid 1 or Metroid 2 canon. I consider them elaborate retellings. Like, they have some semblance of the original events, but are exaggerated. So given the actual events of the main games, what we've seen now is Ridley. We fought Ridley in the NES Metroid. That was our revenge against Ridley. And canon dictates, especially with the advent of the comics and whatnot, that at the end of that fight, Ridley was like, "Oh crap, y'all are strong, I'm out of here," and friggin' buggered off somewhere. But he was still around, and still ready to torment Samus. In Super Metroid, when we just defeated Ridley here, this is finally us canonically killing Ridley. This is how he came back in this game. In Metroid 1, he ran off. That's why he came back here. And that's why, from here on, Ridley is dead. He's gone. Completely and utterly. This will be important for later. And recall that Ridley took the infant Metroid and broke it out of its container, and who knows where it is now. Also, remember how in the Ridley fight there was an energy tank hidden in the wall of the room? And that's the last of the energy tanks. So with Ridley dead, that's the last of the big 4 done. And if you've been going back to that statue, you would notice that every time you killed one of the big 4, one of the statues had what appeared to be a spirit of some kind fly out of it. And then the statue turned gray. With all 4 of the big 4 done, that statue should be done, and whatever gateway should be open. So, there's our next goal. We're effectively done down here. kick your butt. I don't think there's enough. Nah, there's not. I think I've seen the TAS do a speedball, which is mock ball but with speed booster speed. I think I've seen the TAS, maybe even some real players, do the speedball through there to break through that and just get out all in one go. So we could save there on our way out. I'm feeling pretty good about myself though, so I'm not too worried about it. Come on. And now we can go the only other way there is to go. This way. Except it leads you in here. So there's nothing here. That looked like an exit. And if you are so inclined as to run back here and even try to, like, backtrack, you're still wondering how you get to that. There's a whole section of the map there that's both not on map and you don't know how to get to. I don't actually remember if the door on the opposite side of this big room is gray, but you're kind of locked down here. And this was a little bit of a jerk move on their part. But as usual, you're simply expected to explore. Because this wall is fake. Nothing on the map indicates that, and even the X-ray scope cannot see through this wall. I think you're just expected to explore. And you'll perhaps eventually just go, oh, wait, what? Okay. And a little bit of a jerk move. There's just no visual indicator. Even a hint that that would be something. Aside from the fact that you come up here and you're like, why did they make that ledge off to the left-hand side? They put this ledge over here, why? Not the greatest visual hint, but you are trapped in a very small area, and this really leads itself to thinking like it's the way out. And it is. So I'm not going to worry about them, but if we go up this way, there's a missile. And when you start seeing pipes and stuff, I still love how weird and integrated all the mechanical stuff is. Like, you see it going over the top, but the rocks are still there, like the beam is, like, buried in there. And, of course, if you come here, you can see there's a couple ways in around here. Okay, so not the bottom. That's cool, but we got the top and the... I can never remember what the actual correct way here is. I just kind of hold right and jump and I get over here eventually. There we go. But if you heck it up, then you fall on the left-hand side of this and you gotta go out and start over again. There's our power bomb. Oh, still the X-ray scope on. Let's hit and run. Which I suppose they had to give it a button for something. They wanted to let you to be able to shoot. This is kind of a neat room. Because you have the rising acid. They just kind of expect you to run through it on your own. No platforms rising, lowering, or anything like that. Another fairly well-hidden item is right here. I always think it's lined up with this black spot, but it's not, which makes it even harder to find. It's another one of those, I'm not really sure how to find this. If you want to, like, stand down here and shoot him, you can, since you have the wave beam. But just screw attack him. So much easier. I remember I was scared of those things as a kid. Hey, didn't I show off this room before? This is how you get, this is where this is. And how you exit from this, which was obviously an exit. And now that we're back here, the true final boss, the Bubble Mountain Cack Attack. If you don't want to go through that little thing, you can powerbomb those 2 blocks right there and come down this way to save a little time. And you know, I never showed you guys how to mockball. So let's show you guys how to mockball, and not make that a running gag that goes on forever. So mockballing. All it is, at the end of the day, is whether you hold run or not, when you're morphed, you move at walking speed. That's it. Maybe a little faster. But certainly not running speed. You want running speed. You want to be able to run as a morph ball. So, how do you do that? Well, the only real way to do it is to retain your running speed into being morphed. Well, if you're running and you press down to morph, you just duck and lose all speed. So, you have to jump and morph in the air. But you notice then, when you land, you bounce. If you bounce, you again lose all speed. So how do you, whoops. So how do you not bounce? You have to morph, at least the second button press, as you touch the ground. And that's effectively mockballing. You have to run, jump, press down in the air, and then press down a second time as you touch the ground, so you morph as you touch the ground. As long as you continue to hold run, you will retain speed. And mockball. Also, for whatever reason, and this is beyond me, you also have to be holding jump. If you're not holding jump, you either still bounce or lose all speed immediately. I don't know why. But that's typically why, whenever I'm going to mockball, I double tap jump. And then hold on the second tap. So the first jump just gets me off the ground, and then I let off and immediately re-hold. So I'm holding jump when I go to mockball. Just like that. And that's mockballing. I hope you all have enjoyed the various tips and tricks that I've shown you over the course of this game. There's really not a lot left. There's honestly not a lot of game left. And I know for sure I'm going to talk a lot more through the end credits, so I'll hold off a lot there. But I like to think that everybody learned something, and is perhaps a little more comfortable in this game. Because at the end of the day, the game is a little difficult to approach. Especially when you see people playing this game at a very high level. You just feel like you're playing bad, and you're bad at the game. When at the end of the day, you're playing casually. And the game is really good about allowing people of all skill levels to play. You can be very bad at all of these tips and tricks. You can be very bad at general combat and still make it through. You just have to be willing to poke your head around and do some exploring. Pretty much everything that you need to find will be at least hinted at in front of you. And then maybe when you see what you've missed, you'll be more inclined to go back and poke your head around otherwise and look for those harder to find items. But the game also has an unbelievably high skill ceiling, higher even than I think the devs intended. And that is part of why the game has had such a lasting stance, such a lasting lifetime. People want to continue playing this game, and people want to continue getting better at this game, and seeing how they can get better at it. So we're going back to Wrecked Ship, because there is a single item in Wrecked Ship that I forget 99% of the time exists. Actually, no, I think it's here. What indication do you have that this is here? None. Zero whatsoever. Other than like, if you came down here and laid a power bomb to clear out all of those at once. I have 99% of this game so many times. And especially when I got back into playing the game a lot, I'd 99% it and go, like, where even is that last item? And I'd have to scour maps before I eventually saw this, and I swear the first time I saw it, I didn't even know there was an item here. I own the original player's guide to this game, and I swear I didn't know this was here. So we have bulls in here, which of course now that we have plasma, we can just destroy outright. Yeah, you get down, because I don't want your business. So where are we going? Does it matter? Going through this middle one. And there's our super missile. Theoretically, this is the final item in the game. We'll know for sure once I go back to my ship. We'll know for sure once I go back to my ship and refill all my ammo. And if I did miss anything, I apologize profusely, and we'll get it next time. This is an easy one. Everybody did that one as a kid. Ah, dang. Turn to criteria, that triumphant music playing. Remember when we landed here? Had the acid rain outside? This triumphant music wasn't playing. That played when we came back with Varia. And now that we've been down in the absolute heck that is Norfair, feeling pretty triumphant, but the finale is still ahead. Until next time, everyone.